You can see just how many families this mobile food pantry will help if you take a look behind me. People are busy going in and out trying to get their hands on some of those cheap DVDs. Police are not letting us get any closer to the scene. I'm standing right in the middle of the construction zone. This intersection has been the site of 24 crashes. The temperature is 21 degrees. Now, we're gonna take a walk down the hallway here. They're thinking about this, the highest gas prices in Decatur. There's no stoplight. And the speed limit here on Route 51 is 55 miles an hour. This is exactly what people have to walk through if they want to get to any of the businesses on this side of the street. This is what's left after the latest crash Tuesday on Route 51 and Grove Road, just south of Decatur. A scary sight for Carla Comerford, who lives nearby.
This intersection is so dangerous, and I'm so worried every morning. And I personally have seen a wreck, and I had a friend just the other day witness the wreck that happened a couple days ago, which was horrible.
And that's just 2 of the 24 on record that have happened here in the last 5 years. And Leo Berger, a State Farm auto insurance agent, says he's had to help file claims on the worst of them.
One, the individual died, and the other one, she was in a coma for quite a while.
Drivers say what makes this intersection so dangerous is that there's no stoplight. And the speed limit here on Route 51 is 55 miles an hour. And the high-speed traffic does not stop when you're trying to make a turn. That's why they're calling on state leaders to make a change.
I ask that IDOT look at these, look at them very carefully to see how what we can do is to either redesign the intersection or have lights.
State Representative Bill Mitchell says he's teaming up with the State Department of Transportation to make those changes at 3 intersections along Route 51. This one in Decatur, one in Maroa, and in Macon.
They're going to study it. They possibly will reconfigure the intersection. We're going to be pressing them to get done sooner rather than later.
And in the meantime, drivers say they just hope it doesn't come to another dead end. This Blockbuster here on Route 51 and Pershing Road in Decatur will be gone next month. So people are busy going in and out trying to get their hands on some of those cheap DVDs. But the reason that they're closing in the first place all comes down to money. It's hard to miss the big sign that now covers the Blockbuster logo. They're closing for good.
I was shocked. That's where I get my movies.
I really don't understand why they're closing that one.
I guess they ain't making no money. They got to close, right?
Blockbuster went bankrupt in 2010. Dish Network then bought out the company last year. And now their new parent company is reportedly trying to get rid of all the stores that aren't making a profit. And that includes this one on Route 51 in Pershing in Decatur.
I'm going to hate it because I live like in Elwyn, and I go all the way north to get my movies.
If I see a movie that's just coming out, I hit the red box right over here at Kroger's.
I don't rent them very often, but it'll probably be a family video, yeah, when I do.
In fact, Family Video will be the only video rental store left in Decatur after Hollywood Video closed and now Blockbuster. But they say they're not worried about shutting down.
The company as a whole is always growing.
The store manager says the other stores closing is helping them bring in more business.
I've actually had the opportunity to set up a few Blockbuster customers in the last couple days.
She says they've even hired more workers to get ready for what they hope is a rush of customers, all while Blockbuster struggles to keep the last of their own customers. Now, Blockbuster is still trying to get customers to rent their movies online, and they're offering free trials here of their services so they can compete with companies like Netflix and Redbox, but only time will tell if that will be enough to save the company. It was something Tom Fallbacker and his wife never had to deal with. In fact, he doesn't even have a history of heart problems and says he was a pretty healthy man until one day the unexpected happened. It's a day no one ever wants to face.
I was having a heart attack.
But one that Thomas Fallbacker will never forget when he came to Decatur.
I went out and decided it's a good day to cut the grass.
What he didn't know was that day he'd be fighting for life.
Ran out of breath real fast.
And in a matter of minutes,
I just felt that crushing crushing pain that I couldn't breathe.
He was sitting there, and I could tell that something was wrong.
His wife, Debbie, had to act fast.
We probably left here within 5 minutes.
She drove him to Decatur Memorial.
I was shaking. I was running red lights.
But on the way, something else was wrong.
He was like leaning back and forth, like holding his chest and kind of going slowly like that. And his face was even grayer, if possible, than it was when we first left.
Tom had a heart attack, and a blockage was stopping blood flow to his heart. But they got to the emergency room just in time for a life-saving procedure.
Put the catheters in the heart, and then put a balloon and open up the flow.
And his doctor only had minutes left to do it.
We're trying to do this in 90 minutes or so. The longer you wait, the longer the muscle dies and the longer chance of having, rhythm problems.
That's why he says getting to the ER fast and recognizing the signs can save you from a heart attack. The same thing that saved Tom. About 4 months later, he's fully recovered from the day his wife helped save his life.
I felt it was a pretty lucky day.
Doctors consider what Tom had to be a mild heart attack because he did not go unconscious at the time. But as this special report continues tomorrow at 5, I'll show you what to do if someone does fall unconscious before help gets there.